We are having a lot of fun here. I think all of us have bought something from this space. Hi, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Come with me as I wander the country in search of valuable vintage, amazing antiques, and cool collectibles. We'll buy, sell, and trade at antique malls, shops, and shows, estate sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere people go to find really interesting things that just aren't made anymore. So come on, let's go! So the big question is, where do you start? This place has 8 different buildings spread out all over a huge fairgrounds. We're going to find the most interesting stuff. Mary, Beth, and Laura are getting out and getting ready. And we are here, and I did my wonderful parking job, but they actually can get in the car, so that was an improvement. And Misty will be happy to know this is a carnival that does not involve clowns. One thing about going during setup time is a lot of the dealers are just pulling in too, so we're going to see some things that are already set up with people who've been here a while, and we're going to see some things that are just coming out of the boxes as we shop. This is fun for me because I get to show you what it's like to set up for a show. You start with your tables and your props, you bring in your big heavy stuff, and then you work your way down from there. I think that's it. Well, I'm going to take this gum stand for $22 because I like stands. I do shows too, and they're useful to me. I'll find something to put in it.
It's fine.
These little metal things here are fun. They are for lily cups, and you can see there, when they put the old paper liners in, that's what they served your sundaes in. So when you see these, now you know what they are. Well, these folks have some stuff out already. I've always been fond of the little American Bisque pig bank. And I seem to be on a bank kick today, so let's see how much this is. This one's got a wide slot, so it could be a razor bank since there's no way to get it out, although you could shake it out the top, I suppose. I'll have to ask them for a price on that one. Well, they've got a lot of nice jadeite back there. Curious about prices. We'll see if we can go back. One thing being an early buyer is you get to see the stuff first, but you also have to try to stay out of folks' way because they have a job to do, so we try not to be too invasive here. There's also outdoor dealers, at least a few. I don't know where the rest of the gang went. This is going to be an interesting experience because we're going to all be doing our own thing and being together at the same time, so always that juggle of trying to keep up with people and find each other. And there's some people there now I recognize, so I think I'll go hang out with them for a minute. Well, here's a familiar sight. The hand cart full of banana boxes and plastic tubs. So here's the main hall, and you can see the early buyers are already in. Some people are half set up, some people are just getting started. People do it a lot of different ways. Some bring crates and boards and planters and build shelves. Some people bring plastic shelving. Some people bring folding wood shelves. There are all sorts of different ways to set up a booth. Some people have lots of flat showcases, which makes it easy and fast if you're selling that type of item. This lady has some pretty jewelry. The Austrian crystals are nice in this with the Japani. I like the black.
Those belong to my friend's mother out of the state, and she didn't know what to do with them.
Oh, well, that's great.
Give them to me and I'll sell them for you.
That's terrific. Well, I'm glad to find a new home for them. I like this vase in the middle. This is Mccoy's onyx in the green. This is one of the first things they made. It's very heavy. It's not marked. You just have to know the glaze. And it's pretty. I've always liked it. They made a lot of it, so it's not super uncommon. But it comes from about 1915 or 20. This one's priced at $22. That's not a bad deal for what it is at all. Cute little Walker kitty cat. We'll see a lot of ool pottery. This is from the Collector Society here with the twin spout, so it's a later piece. That one also has the ool stamp on it. Ool was made in Heidelberg, Indiana, which is not very far from here. This little miniature bird bath is also ool. So we'll expect to see a lot of this here. It's also going to likely be more expensive here because it's where a lot of people who remember the factory or even had people involved with the factory in the family are going to be likely to pick that up because it's a personal collection for them.
Neat.
Oh yeah, that is neat. Yeah, Misty likes this, and I do too. Cabaret. This is the German release. There's Liza Minnelli on it. There's a stack of these. Sometimes when you find things in a stack, they're not very expensive because they've got a bunch.
You don't? Oh my gosh, those are great.
Yes. I like this pin. I'll interrupt him in a minute and you can ask him about your book because, ooh, and the compact is neat too.
I thought this one was kind of neat with the lizard.
Oh, that is. Oh yeah, and it's on a larger piece. That's cool. Yeah, it's like they took a few pieces of Bakelite and made it up, and then that one that's upside down. I think I need to see some things. Yeah,
7 up for 5 each.
Pretty compact with the dancers on it. And it's got the finger hook so they could just hold it instead of having to have a purse. That's cool.
You do change? That might be an issue. We'll find out here real quick.
Let me see. I'll try.
Neat old button there.
What are you asking on this?
That's Victorian.
It has shades. It has gas shades with it. $200 for the whole deal. They're a Phoenix shade striped opalescent.
And Barb spotted something in here that's pretty neat. A couple of things actually, so I'm going to take a look because she pointed out this little piece of jewelry. Priced at $29. It's got the old safety class, so you know it's got age. And it is an Art Nouveau piece, and I definitely could use some fresh jewelry, but I'm going to make a pile and see what happens.
May I help you, sir?
Anything in the way of political buttons are okay.
And then this guy looks like he's carved out ebony.
Okay. It'll be a while for they're in this case.
That is definitely a different style. We'll put that there and see. This is one of the biggest pieces of Namaji I've seen in a long time.
My man who works for me collected it.
Uh-huh.
You should see the stuff he has. It's like this.
Really?
And figural. I never saw figural stuff.
I've only recently found out that they made anything figural. I was really surprised by that.
I mean, I couldn't believe the collection.
How cool.
He's my record dinosaur.
Well, let's see what the sconce light is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be in your way.
Let me move this so you can...
Oh, that's fine. I'm close enough, and I won't step on your stuff. I promise. Oh, Jadeite batter bowls for $25 a piece. Those sell for $45. I think I'm going to get at least one of them if they're not in bad shape. Let's take a look. You can smack down the depression with Duncan's Smacking Sam. Isn't that fun? I'm not sure what you did with it, but I guess if you whacked something when you weren't making a lot of money, it would make you feel better. That's priced at $35. As is this very handsome Peacock Tray that was just coming out of the box. Jeffrey saw this and is debating, but he also got a really neat plateau, which we'll have to show you later because he got a good deal on it. 1950s juicer for $20.
And you wanted
pretty angel here.
okay.
Blue War Rough Cut. Let's see what this is. I bet it's for tobacco. It's a little worn. $20 is not a terrible price for it. I think it's unusual for the shape. This is really cool. Every area has its own regional beer brands. Well, this is Cook Brothers. Well, this is the FW Cook Beverage Company, which is Cook's Beer out of Evansville, Indiana. And people around here definitely collect this. And this keg is fairly early. This is what you used to get when you bought a keg. They didn't used to be metal. They look like this. So it's pre-Prohibition. And it is priced at $250. That's got to be a scarce piece. We are having a lot of fun here. I think all of us have bought something from this space. This is how it looks at the beginning of a setup. We'll come back to this booth after they set up because they've got a big double booth. Their method is they bring grid walls, so they probably are doing some art and pictures, and that'll give them a nice backdrop. And then they use plastic trash cans and boards for shelving. A lot of dealers do this, and when you have it set up at the show, nobody knows that you use this very simple thing that was easy to get into your car to create all this shelving, because they're just looking at the merchandise. It's a pretty smart way to set up. And then they use a lot of tomato boxes. Tomato boxes are great because they're very heavy. as our banana boxes. So, you know, if you don't want to pay for plastic, well, there's an alternative. Here's another type of shelf. These are something somebody made, and what a great idea, because they break apart completely flat. You just put in a wedge, so they'll stay sturdy show to show. But in the middle here, I'm going to take a look because he's got a really cool sign. They put these up just for the inauguration. $2.75 for that one, but they only lasted a very brief time. Oh, for the Oddfellows. That is great. That is really cool. That's got to be 1940s, I would say, from the typeface, maybe?
Maybe so, or a little older, but
yeah.
It's double-sided.
Oh, wow. That's really great. How neat for someone who collects fraternal.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you. Now, these folks have a lot of things in flats, so they're already almost open. So we're going to take a look and do some shopping.
A little porcelain top on it with it. And it has a little thing that comes up and gives us the box it over.
King and sausage and lard, always the best. If it didn't have the little stains then and a little bit of damage to the mirror, it'd be a deal for that price.
You're probably met somewhere.
Pluto, this is out of Evansville, so it's going to probably cost more because it's local. There's a neat tile from the 1893 World's Fair. Somebody dragged that around and dragged a paperweight around as well. Now this is only $25. It's reacting a little badly at the edges, or else I would get that. The compact, Evansville, Indiana. Now I've been to the river in Evansville. I don't remember it having a beach like that.
Some of them, I mean, what's really hard, I mean, there's
$24. That is not bad at all, especially for being local interest. Old employee badges. This dealer has a lot of things that are relevant to people from this area. He's also got the Mccoy single tulip wall pocket. You do not see the wall pocket. You see the vases all the time, but the wall pocket, that's unusual. And there's the Mccoy mark on it to let you know. Interesting. So this would be in the dining car, and then they'd serve beverages, I guess, around it. Oh, how interesting. And it's the Monon Railroad, and there is the logo on it. Thank you. That's very interesting. I've never seen one before. It's an amazing piece. Some cute things in here. I want to take a look at the... Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Very cute Mccoy wall pocket, and they've got the baby booties. This one's in the lavender. I like that color personally. Not a bad deal. Nelson Mccoy mark, and just $9. People are seeming to be more interested in nursery planters these days. That one works?
No, I really don't.
Do you mind if I plug it in?
Please plug it in.
Here's a neat flange sign for cigarettes, L&M filters. That looks like it's new old stock. It's in great shape. Chesterfield on the other side, because Liggett and Myers made both of them. That's neat that it's a different thing on each side. That makes it a little more unusual. This ice cream cone is kind of neat. And it is old, $2.75. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see it. It's really cool.
Isn't that neat?
Yes. This guy's got a cool lock display here from an old hardware store. I'm upside down on it, but I'll turn around so you can see it a little better. It would have originally had all the locks in it. There's only one left. Well, two. And that is priced at $75, which seems like a pretty reasonable price. I also noticed he's got one of those Chevy ads from the old dealership. It's kind of on its side, but this is showing the Corvette from 1972. Let's get on it where you can see it, with the original 53 Corvette behind, and that's priced at $45. Not a bad deal either. Here's a German armband for a stretcher carrier. Something different, priced at $59. And Farrah, remember what a phenomenon she was. The doll's hair is even bigger than her hair was in real life. $30 on that. They're doing the same thing all over the park. I have a friend who, when he goes to a pre-sale like this, he runs in circles as fast as he can, and he's just looking for like the biggest, shiniest objects. And he sometimes finds amazing things, but I can't do it. I'm like, no, I have to look at everything. Okay, we have a sombrero and a conductor's hat, and you know, if I see a hat, all aboard. Just got to put it on. I've even got the right neckerchief, but this guy had a big head. Some nice older trains and not bad prices. $49 for the 3-piece here. If the engine works and this spotlight car works, which of course you have to take a chance because we can't test them here, well then that's a pretty good deal. Oh, I see. It's $49 for just the double light. Well, that's about the right price because those are hard to find. And look, there's Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Back when they were young potatoes. And look at all the different characters you could make out of cucumbers, onions, pears, apples, sweet potatoes. They're always telling kids don't play with your food, but apparently at some point playing with your food was what you did. And look how cute she is. Tasty food, and there's the Miss Sunbeam from the old bread wrappers on there. Back when you could get a cheeseburger for 20 to 30 cents. Well, I'm going to hit these people one more time coming through because I found some good stuff here, and we all did. And I just want to see if there's anything else I'm missing. The Coke tray on the right there is from about 1941, if I remember right. She's a cutie. They've got 400 on that. That's a nice early one in very, very good condition. That makes a big difference. Double inkwell, 35. That's nice. These folks have a lot of nice art glass. 28 each on the Viking glass patio lights, and the ruby is about right. I think this is very pretty. This is Murano, or at least Venetian. We have to be a little careful about using the term Murano because lots of Italian glass is made in Venice that is not on the island of Murano, and there is a difference. Oh, this is cute. It's an old cigarette case, souvenir of Tampa, but it's kind of too worn to see, so probably have to leave that, unfortunately. But I wanted to look at her Fenton Burmese. 39 on the fairy light. Jeffrey did buy a different fairy lamp from her, but not that one. And since he seems to be the king of such things, I'm going to follow his lead and not get it, although I do think it's pretty. Besides which, I sold him one for less than that, so it'd be a little silly to buy one for more now, wouldn't it? What could you do for an early buyer on these?
How much do you have on them?
You have 32, and the only reason I ask is because of the hole in him.
25.
25 seems fine. I'll take them. And look, here I am bringing up the rear again. Everyone is here except me. So that's wonderful, and you have a new channel.
We're from St. Louis.
That's awesome.
St. Louis today.
Oh, that's so great. I'm excited to meet you.
Dead people.
She would like a vision.
She likes dead things and dead people, and they do a lot of kitsch, and I can't wait to look at their channel. So it's called Sugary Mess. So I'm going to quickly look down this way. This poor fellow, he's got really great stuff, and it's a good thing he's got the kind of stuff you can have outdoors, because unfortunately it is supposed to be a little soppy tomorrow, perhaps, but we'll see. $8, I think that's a neat sifter. I haven't seen that design before, and it works, which is the important part. And of course, I always look at these. This one's a little scratched, but it's only 18, so that's a good price. And then this is just very bright and vivid, so I just drew my eye right away. I imagine that this is Drippolator. Yep, sure enough. Made by Enterprise Aluminum. This is out of Whitehall, one of the many different potteries in Whitehall, Illinois, that did crockery and also some tableware and vases and such things. Now everyone went in the other hall, but I started in that hall, so I'm going to go and see what's in this one. This is a lot of floral display and someone selling honey. They do have some other things besides just regular antiques. Here's a bunch of these creations made of various pieces of glass put together. I think these are way better than what I usually see, and these are various hummingbird feeders and stuff, so that's really neat. They segregate it into a different hall so people don't get confused over new versus old. To me, keeping that separate is a very good thing for keeping the antique market pure, because if you start mixing things that are with things that aren't, then people get confused and then they're afraid to buy.
Did you buy those?
I bought those three over there. He's wrapping mine up.
Oh, that's great.
The green ones that are over there on the table, yeah, they're really good.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, yes, those are fun.
$5 each.
That's great. Well, I'm so happy that Laura found something, so she broke the ice. Now it's up to you, Mary Beth.
I know.
Well,
Aw, that's too bad because they're really cute.
look at his leg.
Oh, yes. I remember when I was a kid, my friend down the street had this, and I loved this thing for some reason. I think because I knew I was destined to travel, so there's a jet. So this lady is just now opening a box of shell pink. A nice 1950s color. A lot of these I think are by Westmoreland and Jeanette glass.
Jeanette, yeah.
Very pretty.
$5 too much?
Wow.
I've been wanting that. Oh, you're the greatest.
That's actually a fairly hard piece of Fisher Price to find from that period.
Stuff in it.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, these folks had fun stuff on the first pass, so let's check again.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go next door.
TV Pal ukulele for $12. Some damage on back, however. 70s Levi's, $28, and look how they have never been worn. They are so groovy. They're small though, they're student size, so this is for like high school age. Unfortunately, you'd have to be very small to wear these.
There was a store in Oakland City. Do you know where Oakland City is?
I do, just east of here, yeah.
Yeah. And they went out of business. These are still new old stock.
They're new old stock. Yeah, they're really cool. I'm tempted by them. I'm just mulling them for a minute while I look at your other stuff.
Yeah.
If they were just a little bigger,
I know.
they would almost fit me, but I can't squeeze into a 27.
Yeah.
So while I'm thinking of it, please comment in the space below here and also hit the thumbs up button to like this video. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button below. Also, hit the bell below to be notified of new videos coming every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And thank you so much for following along. Let's go back to this video. Tennessee.
How long ago was that, Jeff?
Georgia, the Peach State.
Like 30 years ago?
And Missouri. Well, I always like these state glasses, and those are certainly inexpensive enough.
So 25. Yeah, 25 years ago.
Is there a place I can set these to hold? Is that okay? That's
Sure.
not a box you need to
Absolutely.
open?
No, everything's
Okay.
unpacked. Praise Jesus.
Oh, congratulations. I see something I bet Misty didn't see. Bedford. I have to bring her back here to show her this. Okay, so Bedford bicycle. $12. We will have to see if she likes that. The Batman and Beatles cards. Only $1 to $1.50 a piece. They used to be a lot more money than that, but I think that's a pretty good deal. Pontiac Service Saver coupons from the early 50s. That's kind of neat. Triple electrode spark plug. Full battle rattle. First place female prescription. This is kind of fun. Somebody did a lot of work painting that. I wonder what the story is on this. It is a weightlifting belt. Here's buttons for the hydroplane races in this part of the country. Madison, Indiana has a big race every year, but the thing I like about it is it's got a big Pepsi bottle cap on it. So I think I may take that. So I do well with hydroplane stuff because there's hydroplanes in Seattle, Washington, another place I sell. Canadian National Railway, $20. Doesn't have the thermos though, I can tell, because it's just not heavy enough. Cool steering wheel here. This is from a Rambler. It's got the deep dish, so that's going to be right around 1960. They started to dish in the steering wheels instead of having them flat as a safety measure in case you fell forward in an accident. You would be less likely to smash your face on the center of the wheel. Well, it's sure fun to see it come right out of the truck, and so everyone is assembled here, and it looks like Jeffrey has found some things right off the bat.
Got him, and that's it. No, I did that when I set it out there.
So this is made in Italy, and it's got the tag. We'll see if it's a nice pattern. I'm just kind of going fabric crazy all of a sudden. What's that?
I just thought this was kind of cute.
Oh, that is cute.
Little incense burner.
Yeah, I like those. 30s Japan. We are having some fun here. Here's half of a Union case with a little boy in it. Cute little silhouette there with some stains. Don't want to hurt the kitty cat. And yeah, he's just letting us have a good time, and it looks to me like he buys a lot at wholesale, and he's passing it on. Oh, that is pretty. Oh, that's very nice. That's from like 1910.
Really?
Yeah, that's old. I think Barb just found something good. She got a piece of uranium glass from about 1910, and I don't think he's going to charge much. So we're all secretly whispering to each other about how great this guy's prices are. And I have a pile starting here, and everyone else is amassing a pile as well. See what else he has on his table, since his prices are great. This is a Caro Nam purse. Let's hope there's no breaks. I don't see anything. Illinois Central, Southern Illinois University, so this is somewhat local to here. It's a nice tall size. We're going to put that in the pile. We are going to put a lot of stuff in the pile here, I can tell. I think this is cute. It's a hanging planter. It's very classical looking. And his prices are so cheap that I think I'm going to buy it, even though I don't see anything to indicate who made it. Okay, there's another tin type. The Union case is a little severed on this one. Yeah, it's kind of falling apart. They often are. So we've got two hanging planters. This one, which is cute, and this one, which I think is actually really stylish.
Oh, you got the basket. I thought that was...
I like those, yes. Okay, now, he's got some other cool stuff here, too. Number 4 churn. This is the big stuff that the other folks here don't really deal in because they are dealing mainly online. This is a Kutani cat with some age. I haven't had one of these in a while. They used to sell for a lot. They don't sell for as much now, but this one does seem like it's legit and has some age, so I'm going to put it in the pile. We were looking at this.
You get it with it. You get that with it. No extra cost. How much is the quilt?
You're selling it.
$20. It's a $50 quilt.
We don't actually talk to each other at all when we're shopping because we're too engrossed. Happy Days Are Here Again. That's right out of the Depression. The song came out right about the time FDR was elected. There's a nice feeder that's wool. $25 seems pretty reasonable for that. And one of their teapots for only $10. So these are some pretty good prices for what they have. And look, a Pyrex primary color set at a reasonable price. $50 for the set. Everything you see here is a reproduction. Look how the stamping is not as clear. These are brand new stickers. That's not even the Gulf Orange color. These are also reproduced. Before Merlin Olsen was an annoying sportscaster, he was a defensive tackle for the LA Rams. In the same era as Gale Sayers was playing. There are a couple of vendors who've set up tents out in the field. This guy's got a bunch of signs. Miami Drive, we know where that would sell. Gates must be closed. Good, how about you?
Alright, I'll be better when it's all put up.
I know, it's always, I'm usually on the other side of this. It's a rare chance where I get to shop instead of showing, and it's a lot of work. Okay, I sure will. You know, I'm sign happy. Please park here. Well, that's kind of fun instead of no parking. It's nice when someone's inviting you to do something instead of scolding you. Handicap parking. There's our no parking. Yeah, these all have a little bit of age. I'll see what they want. Small stop sign. Easier to manage than a big one. No trespassing after closing, but trespassing when we're open is fine. Through traffic, personnel, there's no trespassing. Ooh, 5 miles an hour. Oh, was Berg the company that did that?
Yes.
And it's got Cupid in the stag.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a nice one.
Cupid and the Kill or something is the name of it.
$60 for the RC. Any more, that's a good price because you just can't find the old sodas. Kentucky Rifle Gunpowder Hazard Powder Company. King Smokeless. All these old ammo cans and black powder cans have value to collectors. Lots of motor oil. Let's see what they want for the spark plug case. It's priced at $90. Anything that's good for display is up there in price now. I always thought these would be interesting to collect. All these old clipboards with the advertising. Some of these have perpetual calendars in them. Advertising pencils. Laura and Mary Beth are ahead of me, and we are coming into the 4-H hall, looking to see what is out here. I bought a really good quilt top here the last time I was at this show, which is the only time I've been at the one here. Wow, big fish. Oh, that's so funny. Misty bought this, and now here's another one in the same show for $30. Hey Mark, I like that little picture you picked up. It's nice to see the painting on that. That's very, very old.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I forget what they call it.
Copper luster. Yeah. Now here's the Mccoy flying Mallards. This is not something that we see very often. It's priced at $40. It's an unusual piece for Mccoy. Next to it is the rustic pattern with the little bird on the side in a bud vase form, $22.
$25.
I don't see their stuff very
off.
often.
Okay, 30% off would be
$17.50.
Mr. Mathematician. Not only does he know antiques.
Here and help me.
Well, that's kind of a Rain Man thing. I don't know if that's good or not.
Royal Copley. Huh?
Those are cute. Little Mccoy. That is Mccoy, even though it doesn't say it. It is definitely Mccoy. There's no doubt about it.
But it is.
It's the real thing.
Yes.
Oh, look, here's the big brother to the one you bought.
I know. I'm thinking I'm going to get that because...
Yeah, it's cool. It'd be fun to have a pair together. We are not showing these to Misty. Cute little weatherite barometer.
She's got so many of those we can't put them all out.
These were from Trader Vic's. Let's look at the back and see if it says. Yep, Trader Vic's. Trader Vic's was a great cocktail place on the West Coast. $10 is not bad for the pair because a lot of people collect it and other stuff just because it came from Trader Vic's. This looks like Mccoy, but it's a nice, pretty deep blue color, a little different. The Isle of Calypso, The Voyage of Ulysses. And yes, this is Mccoy Studios of California. A lot of people think that Mccoy is Italian, but actually, made in California. Not a bad price for $15. After Shawnee quit making all those cute, whimsical things that we all love, like Puss in Boots and the little cookie jars and things like that, they went to this very modern looking stuff in the 50s. And there it is, Shawnee USA. $10 is a pretty good price. I may end up getting that. I haven't had any of the textured in a long time. Some nice jewelry here. We have Italian beads, and they've got nice crystals and spacers.
You been to Italy?
I haven't. I've only been to Poland. I have not been to anywhere else in Europe yet.
Well, we took a trip over that way in Pompeii, the Mediterranean.
Oh, how fun. And then these are Vendôme.
I would love to go back.
Oh, I bet. Vendôme is a good maker, and it's marked on the clasp typically. Okay, so we've got one more big barn left. We're going to have gotten to see everything that was out so far, and then tomorrow when we come back, we'll get to see all the stuff that they unpack between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm sure they let the dealers stay a little later than they let us early buyers stay for that purpose, and I imagine the dealers get in probably at 7 when we are also able to come back, and then by 9 o'clock the general public will be here, and this place will be a lot fuller than it looks right now. This one's cool. It's a livestock barn, so it's a dirt floor, but it is dry, it's securable, and the floors are flat. Other than, well, they're a little lumpy. Neat old ice crusher. Art Deco isomat, $25, not a bad price. Nice gooseneck lamp. This barn you usually find more of this sort of thing rather than little stuff, although there'll be some of both. Here's a neat biscuit tin from the store. I like the hose reel. This is particularly cool. And it's $60. That does not seem like a bad price. I'm going to have to see how those sell nowadays. I haven't had one in well, I don't know if I've ever had one to sell personally. Here's a neat pump with a base. $125. I think the base alone is what makes that interesting. Look at the Art Nouveau detail. The fact that they would do this kind of detail on something that was just a functional item like a water pump is pretty impressive. This is a very cute little table with the cutouts and the pyrography. That's a heat pressed. I guess calling it pyrography might be a bit of a misnomer. I think it was a factory heat press, but in any event, that's not carved, it's actually pressed into the wood. That's $95. And I think it's aluminum. It's a pretty respectable looking older aluminum, probably 1950s. It's a neat weather vane for $125. I like the horse. I was just saying that you were my friend from the last show, and here you are again. It's a good setup in here.
This is a whole new load except for the pirate and the head.
So everything else is different than it was at the show last week. That's pretty amazing that you can do that, because, you know, it's hard to find that much new stock in a quick period of time. I couldn't do it. That's why I'm not selling it this one.
I believe you have to have new stuff.
I think you do too, because even though this seems like a long ways away from the last show, you know, some of the people who are coming are going to be the same folks. That's really neat. Albert Gall, Carpets and Draperies, Indianapolis. That's actually one of the best carpet sweepers I've ever seen, because they almost never have that amount of detail. So this is what you got to use before a vacuum cleaner. Short pile is the way to go. There's a pretty face. Looks like she's cast iron. Oh yes, nice and heavy. Just some sort of a decoration, maybe for a piece of furniture or a fireplace. $48. She looks like she dates to about 1890. Nice. Western Wilds and the Men Who Redeem Them This shows you something about the mindset around the 1890s. The West was a place to be tamed and redeemed for the benefit of civilization. Nowadays, we're trying to redeem the wildlands by making them back into wildlands. Well, these railroad locks have some keys. So we're going to see if the keys match and if there's any lines that we can use. They're priced at $25 each. Now this place does advertise that it is a flea market as well as an antique show, and that's why you have a $5 table here and a table full of $10 skillets and some other things. So there are definitely bargains. This has been, I think, a lot more productive for all of us than we thought it might be. And I like this little guy. This is Francoma. I like the cowboy boot. For only $5, I guess I have to have that. And you know, everyone else already saw this table. They're all heading to the hotel, and I realize they're going to check in before me, so I'm going to take my time and look a little farther because they got to see some stuff that I didn't. Here is a really cute little brush with a Western motif. Aw. They're saving the poor little calf who got separated from mommy. This is probably originally for a child named Daryl. So I think I'll take that off the $5 table as well. Little Petroliana. Here's a Texaco handbook. I love the logo. That's the main interest in these, though, because people aren't really using these to look up old specs anymore. Audell's Carpenters and Builders Guides. These have a collector market. There's number 3. They're 1920s and 30s vintage. House and roof framing, laying out foundations. A lot of that information is still valid. Old US and some other holsters. I like holsters. I'll ask about those. So this, if you don't recognize it because of the hole, would have originally been in a pair. It would have been the footrest, a stanchion on a floor in a bar. And he said this one came out of Louisville. It looks like it's Victorian. And here is the original tractor lawn sprinkler. One of the earlier ones. It's got a plastic cog, but it's got the old metal wheels. Those are neat, and they'd walk around the yard. Thanks for joining me again in the fun and fascinating antique community, here where online meets the real world. Please click the subscribe button below, click the bell to be notified when new videos upload, leave a comment below, and hit thumbs up to like this video. Links to our online social media daily posts and our items for sale are in the description. This is George at the Antique Nomad. Bye for now.